Happy birthday, Janet! Welcome back to Invincible Jacksons. My name is Tori. If you are new here or don't recognize my channel, I use this as an outlet to show my appreciation for the Jackson family and talk all things Jackson. Now today is Janet Jackson's birthday, so I wanted to celebrate her in a special way, and I thought it would be fun to create a Janet Jackson fan tag. So I came up with some questions that anyone can answer. It's just a way to share your fan journey, who Janet Jackson is to you, what she means to you, your Janet Jackson favorites, and just a way to show your appreciation for Janet Jackson and all that she is and all that she's done. So I can't wait to do this. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, y'all. So the first question I have is, when and why did you become a Janet Jackson fan? So I don't exactly remember how old or like when I started becoming a fan, but I do know that it was because, I started out as a Michael Jackson fan, and then with learning about Michael Jackson, you end up learning about the whole entire family, and then you end up having like your favorite Jackson siblings and stuff, and she just so happened to stand out to me. I do remember when I did become like a super huge Janet Jackson mega fan, and that was when I think I was like 14, and she had just announced the Unbreakable World Tour. I saw that she was performing at a location near me, and I just remember picking up the phone and like, Mom, can I go? And I just went all out into tour prep mode like I do now. I was ingesting all things Janet Jackson, and I was just listening to her music all the time. I was watching her interviews and stuff. That Unbreakable era was like, I remember being there. That was the first Janet Jackson era that I remember being able to be there for and like consciously remember and like experience new songs for the first time. I remember when I was like going through her music, I had this like paper that was like writing my favorite songs down. Like I was just listening to them just like in a random order as I found them on YouTube, but I just remember I would write down the ones that I liked, and I still think I have that paper somewhere. If I do have it, it would be fun to maybe like do a video to see if those songs that are written on there are still my favorites. The next question I have is, what is the first Janet Jackson song you listened to? So this is actually my first like conscious memory of Janet. Like I knew Janet existed well before this, like even when I was a little kid, but I hadn't had like any like conscious memories of her. But it was 2009. It was unfortunately shortly after Michael had passed, and like all the music channels on television were playing his music, his short films and stuff, his performances, and they actually threw in some other Jacksons. So I remember they were playing Jermaine's Dynamite, LaToya's Heart Don't Lie, and then I remember it was like one morning or afternoon, I was watching all of them, and Janet's Nasty came on. I saw her music video for the first time, and it was my first musical like song exposure for Janet Jackson. I was just like, oh wow, this is like what her music sounds like. At that time, Nasty really didn't stand out to me. Please don't cancel me. But now, fast forward, Nasty is one of my all-time favorite Janet Jackson songs. But ironically, it has no correlation to that memory. I just love it, and I think that it's a very fun song to see her perform. I love the breakdown towards the end of the song. I just love it all. But yeah, I have a deep appreciation for the song now. Okay, y'all. So the next question I have is a very hard one for me because I can never pick just one. And if you guessed it, it is, what is your favorite Janet Jackson song? She has hits upon hits upon hits upon hits. So I'm just gonna pick 4 songs. I'm just gonna pick 4 at random, and I'm gonna try not to say more than that. And no particular order. It's Alright, Come Back to Me, Made for Now, and New Agenda. Yes, that's all I'm gonna say. If I say even more, we're gonna be here all day. So I'm gonna just leave it at that. But the next question I have, while we're on the topic of the music still, what is your favorite Janet Jackson album? I am a part of the Rhythm Nation, and I will always be a part of the Rhythm Nation. I love that album. I love it so much. Back when, like I was saying, when I was preparing for the Unbreakable tour and I was listening to her music, I wasn't listening to them like in order of the albums, just chronological order. I would just listen to songs, and I found myself listening to a lot of the Rhythm Nation album songs, and those are the songs that stood out to me the most. Those are the songs that I anticipated her performing on tour the most, that I was waiting for, that I was ready for. And to this day, my favorite sets of her tour is the Rhythm Nation. So I just think it's fun, it's upbeat, it's socially conscious. I see a lot of myself in Janet during that era. She was standing boldly, standing strong for the things that she believed in, for change. And I just love the production of the album. To me, and in my opinion, I feel like that is one of her most sonically cohesive albums. The songs just go together. They all sound similar in a way, like the New Jack Swing sounds. Even the ballads sound really similar. But they all have, each song has their own different touch to it, if that makes sense. I will forever be a part of the Rhythm Nation. Next question I have is, what is your favorite Janet Jackson music video? And for me, I would say it would have to be All Right, because to me it's more than just a music video. It's a short film, and I just think it's like so fun. I love the colors, just the bright colors, that bright fun feel. I love the time period that it's set in, and her outfit, Janet's look. The dancing is just like so smooth and crisp. I don't know how she does it. I really don't know how she does it. She makes it look so easy. And then I love, like, the storyline, and that particular type of music video is what I like to call street journey. Janet Jackson street journey. She has multiple music videos where she has these street journeys, and I always like have a liking towards those because they're just fun. Like, she has When I Think of You, Made for Now, Escapade, and then of course All Right. Like, those are always just like fun. And then at the end, I remember I was watching the music video, and I like got to the end part, and I was just like, I wish I was there, like dance with all those people. It just looks so fun. And I particularly love the full version, the one with Heavy D. I think it's like about 9 minutes, like 8 or 9 minutes. And I really hope that one day they can get that uploaded to her YouTube channel and remastered for higher quality. Because the one right now that's on there is like the snipped version. It's slightly shorter than the full version. And it's like in 480p. And I'm like, I need to see Janet in 4K, please. What is your favorite Janet Jackson collaboration? I'm gonna give y'all two. The first one is the song The Best Things in Life Are Free from the Mo Money soundtrack. And I don't think I have to explain that much. You got Janet Jackson, Luther Vandross, Belle Biv DeVoe, and Ralph Tresvant on the song, and produced by Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. That is what I call a dream team, okay? Those are all icons and legends in the music industry coming together. And I love the New Jack Swing sound. It's a very fun song. The song is what I would determine as absolute perfection. I'm so happy I got to see her perform it for the first time last year on the Together Again tour. I was screaming, I was giving my life. None of the videos came out good anytime she performed it because I was just too busy screaming and cutting a fool. But that was an absolute dream come true. And honestly, I would consider that one of my all-time favorite Janet Jackson songs. So add that one to the list too. The next one I would say is Don't Stand Another Chance from the Dream Street album. I give Dream Street and the debut album love over here. But all jokes aside, I love that Marlon Jackson produced and he wrote that song. Like, I remember first hearing that song and I was like, why does production style sound similar? I was like, did Marlon have a hand in this? And lo and behold, I looked at the credits. I was like, oh my gosh, how did I not ever know about this? The song is so good. I love Marlon's ad-libs. I love Michael's ad-libs in there. Yes, the brothers are in there too. They did the background vocals, but like Michael and Marlon, they were going in on the ad-libs. And then there's behind the scene pictures of them as well. And it's just always nice to see the family collaborate on something, like aside from like group stuff, like them going and support another family member's like solo project. I always love to see that. All right, next question I have is, what is your favorite Janet Jackson movie? I'm gonna go with probably an unexpected one, but The Nutty Professor 2, The Clumps. I loved her character in there. She was just like so nice, and she was very patient with Sherman. That man had her stressed, crying in tears, but like her character was just so nice, and like I feel like that like kind of like reflected her, because y'all know Janet is really nice. You could just tell, like, I've never met her, but like hearing people say like she cares, she's very caring, understanding and stuff, and very patient. So I feel like that reflects, you know, who she is. Even though it's like, it's just a movie role, it's a fictional thing, but I'm like, that's kind of how like I imagine Janet would be in real life. But yeah, that movie, child, was wild. But next question I have is, what is your favorite Janet Jackson tour? I can't choose, but aside from how the favorite song question was, I actually dwindled it down to 2 of them. So it's out of the Velvet Rope tour and the All For You tour. I love how both of them have like that theatrical feel and aspect, and they have like the special effects. I love the stage. The stage on the All For You tour just looked massive. I love the costumes and just all the different props and stuff. The Velvet Rope tour stands out for a lot of fans because of the band. Like, they said that's the best band on like from one of her tours. But I would definitely have to sit down and like watch them back to back to finally choose and decide which one of those tours is my favorite. But while we're on the topic of tours, next question I have is, have you been to any Janet Jackson tours and which was your favorite? So my first Janet Jackson tour I've been to was the State of the World tour. I know I mentioned Unbreakable, but I was not able to see the Unbreakable tour because she ended up postponing it because she was having Issa. So we held off for that, and then she ended up changing the tour into the State of the World tour, and I loved that tour. It was socially conscious. The only thing is that I was really young at the time, so I don't remember a whole lot of it. But from watching videos and stuff back, she did some deep cuts in there, and a bunch of like cool routines and stuff. She even performed New Agenda, which I have no recollection of, none. Like, I had to go back and find videos of the tour on YouTube from the location I was at, and I had no memory of her doing that song at all. And I was like, how? Because I love the song. But the other tour that I went to was Together Again tour, leg 1, last year. And out of those two, I will say Together Again tour was my favorite, because it was just like super fun. You could tell she had the long time or like die hard fans in mind when she was creating this tour. The songs that she put in there, they were deep cuts. It was a lot of deep cuts. Some locations she even did surprise songs. The special effects were really cool. Like, I loved some of the stage lighting and stuff. Like, at one point it was like this light coming out, and it was like rain. The light was like an illusion of like rainbow smoke, and it was just so cool to see that. And then there was like this ball that came down that acted as a screen. It was kind of like a disco ball too, because it had like lights and stuff. It was just stuff like that that I really enjoyed from the tour. It was very fun. It was lighthearted. It was a very positive and just upbeat tour. And I actually remember it since, you know, I was a bit older, and, you know, I understood to cherish those moments a lot more seeing that tour. And I just had a lot of great moments and memories. Now, we are approaching Together Again tour leg 2, and they said there's going to be some things switching up in there. So we'll see after this tour ends if leg 1 remains my favorite Janet Jackson tour or not. We shall see. So I am down to my last 2 questions. The next one I have is, what is your favorite Janet Jackson memory? So the one that stands out to me the most is when me and my friend were dealing with the post-concert depression after the Together Again tour was over. And I remember I was laying on my bed watching my videos from the show that we had went to, and I was like, I want to see her again. I want to see her again. So we decided to get on a plane, go to another show, and fly all the way to Minnesota so we could see her in St. Paul. And when I tell you, it was so impulsive, but it's one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life because we had so much fun. We had better seats. We were interacting with the band and like just waving at them, saying hi. You know, I really got to see Mr. Jones's like animated personality, his fun personality, while he was like, you know, on the keyboard. And he really is missed. Like, it's gonna be hard not to see him on this next tour, but he really left a legacy behind in, you know, Janet's band. So I'm just glad that I had that memory of him. Also, I like to joke around, but I say like me and Janet is besties after that show because she was, when I tell you she was interacting with us, it was crazy. She was like waving at us, holding up hearts, you know, just like reciprocating the love that we were giving her. I remember at the end, oh my gosh, this is when I about fell out. I put my phone down. I wasn't recording. We were at the end of the Together Again song, and I snatched my friend's hand and I made her like just dance with me. And Janet saw us. She blew us a kiss, and I was like, oh my god. Oh, that was like one of the highlights of my Janet Jackson fan journey. So the last question is, what does Janet Jackson mean to you? So to me, Janet Jackson means so much, if y'all can't tell. But she is a huge inspiration. When you get into someone's music, or like you become a fan of someone, you may not know exactly how their personality is, who they are, what they're like as a person. You just like their music. And then eventually, if you get more into them, you'll find out who they are. And it's always nice when you learn that one of your favorite artists is just an incredible person. And that is Janet Jackson. She really inspires me a lot because when I think about her start in music, being a young black woman doing it all on her own, nobody was doing it like her. Nobody of her demographic was doing it like her. She was trying to pave this way for herself. She was singing, making music, dancing, acting, and putting on performances and having different like appearances and stuff, doing interviews, all this type of stuff. Nobody was doing it like her. And to be like around her age when she was starting that, like, it really lets me know like I could do stuff like that too. I can do anything that I set my mind to, that I have a passion for. And she really taught me not to wait around and like have people do stuff for you or tell you how to do things or tell you how to think about things. You have to go out and literally take control, and like that's what she did. It's a lot of things that she has taught me, and she's just overall just such an amazing person, and I really just appreciate her. All right, y'all, that is all I have. I had a lot of fun sharing my Janet Jackson favorites and what she means to me. If you come across this video and you would like to answer these questions for yourself, go ahead, feel free to do so. I would love to see more Janet Jackson fan journeys told on YouTube and in the YouTube space and stuff. But go ahead, feel free to do so. But I would like to tag Gadgetrish from I Love the Jackson Family to answer these questions next. I am excited to hear what you have to say and hear all of your answers to these questions. Once again, happy birthday, Janet, and thank you so much for everything you have done, for the inspiration and for the music. And thank y'all so much for watching this. I have so much more to come in regards to Janet and the entire Jackson family. So as always, I'll see y'all next time.